Hey guys, it's Cade, sitting up on my deck here. Sunny day in September again in Vancouver. Just wanted to make a 1 week on tea video, basically. Just check in. Not a lot has changed, but just wanted to document everything as I go along. So, having a bit of a beer up here. It's still feels like summer. I could be in shorts. So, I don't know what's going on with you guys in your part of the world, but I feel like since the story came out about the intersex athlete in South Africa that a lot of dialogue has opened up here. Vancouver's a pretty special place, so it's kind of like San Francisco, so I'd be curious to hear if that's happening anywhere else in the world. But yesterday I woke up and the front page of one of our local papers, the Vancouver Sun, had a big article about intersex issues. Not so much talking about transgender at all, but talking about it, at least, you know, how chromosomes and genitalia sometimes just don't match. And it really opened up a lot of dialogue. I'd say that 95% of the people that wrote in comments were positive and supportive and thankful for the article. And then there were the sort of like the 5% or even 3%, I'd say, of the sort of really, really right-wing kind of Nazis, or, you know, I mean, these people were saying in their comments that a third gender is ridiculous. One comment was basically like, it's a malfunction, it's an abnormality in humanity, it should be eliminated. You know, it needs a cure like cancer or blindness or deafness, and you know, that regardless of how blind or deaf people can function, they're still less than normal. So when you're dealing with that kind of mentality, I mean, all you can do is shake your head, because clearly these people just pretty much don't like anyone. It's not just us, so I don't really feel affected. But yeah, it's great to see that there is a dialogue and there does seem to be some general awareness and openness to the subject, so that's encouraging. Another thing, I bought a set of drums this week, a set of electronic drums. They're called V drums. Just awesome. I play a lot of music, and I'm basically kind of like a one-man band. I don't know if you've checked out. I have a webpage at Reverb Nation, reverbnation.com/Cade Austin, and you can check out some of my tunes if you like. But yeah, that's a great outlet, you know, just to sit and hammer some drums for a couple of hours. What I'm trying to do is put in place supports or outlets for myself, so that if I do experience any of the unwanted side effects of testosterone, such as anger and aggression, moodiness or something, that I have that in place. But I don't know if I'm going to experience those things, simply because I have never had my chromosomes checked, but I know that I produce naturally a considerably higher level of testosterone than I don't want to say normal, but because there are no normalized sort of test results to measure typical, I guess is a better word, to measure a typical female or male. So typically I produce more testosterone than a regular female person would anyways, so I'm not sure how heavily impacted I will be. I'm on a really low dose of testosterone because of that factor. Generally, I was told the dosage is between 1 to 200 milligrams every 2 weeks, and mine's at 75. So I don't know how it will impact me, but I definitely will be honest about it and measure it and keep it in check. Luckily for me, I have quite a few allies around me that are also transitioning or have gone through it. So I feel like I have a lot of support in place for that, which is great. What else would I like to talk about? Well, I'm a stylist, so I work in an industry where presentation and image is basically everything. So that kind of got me to thinking that there's a lot of websites and stuff out there that sort of give tips for, you know, back in the day when it was called cross-dressing. Um, one, I guess I'll just sort of, I haven't really thought this out too much, but for today, I guess what I'll address is, because I do have some knowledge that might be useful, is haircuts and sort of the sideburn thing. So essentially what I've noticed in the crowd around Vancouver and also just online and stuff is that a lot of people either have a sort of a really wispy kind of sideburn, like maybe I'll use this side to show that, like comes kind of more to a point here. Their stylist cuts it around the ear, you know, onto the pointy part, a little bit more wispy onto the face. That's not bad for guys. I do have some male clients that, you know, naturally their hair grows that way or they prefer it that way. But for the most part with guys, sideburns are cut more square. You just kind of like let the extra, it's actually called lanugo, but when it's really fine, and then facial hair when it's whiskery, but the sideburns come down from the hairline and we cut them square off. So having it to a point or even blunting it off right at the ear, which I've noticed a lot of people do, is, to me, it's kind of a bit of a giveaway. So here's a tip about that, is that everybody has really fine hairs around their face and ears, all over our bodies really, and like I said, that's called the lanugo hair. If you kind of take your sideburn, ask your stylist to cut it, blunt it off straight across instead of coming to the point. And then if you find it's starting to bulk out because it's actual hair and it's not like a whisker or whatever, and you don't want this to be like not blended with your haircut, if they know how, just do some channel cutting to free that up and release the weight. And then if you take your thumb and kind of hold that up, a really good trick is if you buy either the Just for Men, even just the mustache kit, like a small amount. Mostly I would suggest Just for Men simply because it uses a lower percentage of volume of peroxide, meaning it's a 10 volume peroxide as opposed to 20. 20 can sometimes burn and stain your face like almost too bad and look a little bit too opaque. So if you lift that up, and even if you drop like, you know, start with this just on your face and use like a mascara brush or something and just kind of get in there and just kind of go against the grain of the hair almost like you're shaving and just kind of brush the color on really, really lightly so that you don't end up with a huge face stain. If you do practice and you realize that you're prone to staining, you can use a little bit of Vaseline, like maybe around your ears or just in the shape of where you want your sideburn to kind of drop down so that it doesn't go outside of that, and the Vaseline will act as a barrier and not make your skin stain so much. But yeah, if you just kind of brush it up against the grain, use a mascara brush or something like, and then just like maybe the first section even of your hair there where you're trying to create a sideburn effect, brush that in just to get it a level or two darker than your own hair color, just so that it has that sort of extra depth. And then when you're styling your hair, just use like a little bit of product and just try to always keep it square. And you got to check it a few times a day because you put on sunglasses or something and it's going to come back to that sort of pointy look again. But until you're able to actually like facilitate actual sideburns, I think it's kind of a great effect. It really does make you look and feel a little bit more masculine, and if you're lucky enough like me to have sort of that lanugo hair consistently go all down your face, you can actually get a pretty decent sideburn instead of chops, or just like color this part in here so it almost looks like you're getting new growth of a beard. So there's a lot of different ways that you can play with that, and even with your mustache and stuff too. So yeah, I guess I just wanted to offer up that, and I'd love to have some feedback from you guys if you want to check in or leave me a note or whatever about any of the issues, or if you have any questions. I am a stylist, so I got some helpful hints anyways, and I'm pretty successful as when I'm out in public, pretty accepted as a male everywhere I go. So, yeah, just drop me a line or whatever, that'd be awesome. Alright guys, so I will check in again soon, and hope everything's going well. Take care. Peace out, man.